Hi everybody, this is Chris from Stylharmony. Thank you for joining me. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these cute little bracelets. And it's very easy to do. Let me show you this better. It's really easy to do. Here I've used very big beads, but actually in this project, you're going to be able to use any kind of beads of the size you want, the shape you want, the color you want. So this is one example of bracelet. So you have it here. And I'm going to show you another one that was made with different beads. So this one is much smaller, but it's the same pattern that we're going to use. But depending on the shape of your beads, you're going to have different looks. So here I have square beads that are in fact glass beads. The other bracelet was acrylic beads. So this is glass and it's called Melfiore. And every little cube here, which is not completely a cube, has got a different color, a different pattern, a different size, and they don't even have the same shape. Some are really bigger than others. This one is really small, and some of them are really not even square shape. It's more, yeah, kind of square or rectangles, but you can really use this as well. And I have another example to give you here. Again, depending on the type of beads you're going to use, again, the same pattern, but if you're using round beads or more elongated beads, you're going to have a different look to it. So really it depends on what you want, and just give it a try because it's really simple. So the materials that you will need are, of course, beads. So you choose your beads. I'm not going to give you in a proportion or a quantity of beads because it depends. If you're using big beads or smaller beads, you're going to put more or less. So any kind of bead. You will need a string, some kind of wire here. It's a thread actually, and it's called Wildfire from Beaded. It's a really good brand. And just to give you the size here, it's a 0.15 millimeter or a 0.006 inch. And here I've got, it comes by 50 yards or 45 meters. It's really thin. It's almost like a cable wire, and it's really strong. So I don't know if you can really see it, but as you can see, it's really thin, but it really is very strong. It says it can hold up to 10 pounds, so really sturdy. This is what I would recommend here. Not something that is elastic, certainly not, because it's not going to keep its form, and nothing that is even too sturdy, too straight, like a big cable. Something like this cable here, I don't even have the brand any longer, but it's not really going to work. I have tried, that was my first try, but I'm not sure if you're going to see this. I'm going to do a close-up, but it's going in all kinds of directions. It's going a little bit on the side here and then going back up to this color here. So it's too stiff. You need something that is softer. And also this kind of wire, the cable ones, are really strong like this. I love them. That's the kind of wire I love. But you tend to kink them, and when you do that, it's difficult, and it's going to difficult to bead after that, and also it's going to make your bracelet or your necklace more fragile. So the other things that you will need for this, and I think I really came very, very close, are some, so I said beads, some clasps of your choice. You can also use these. Be careful. Some people say that they tend to lose their bracelets, but with this kind of clasp, but I like them, and if they're really well made, you're not going to be able to take them off that easily. You will also need some crimp beads, small ones depending on your thread. You will need some little beads to go in between, like in this example here. These are big, but you will need another kind of bead to go in between. And you will need 2 jump rings, to open and close your bracelet. And that's it. And then the tools, 2 flat nose pliers. That's what I like to use when I open and close my jump rings. I'm going to use this kind of wire cutter and a ruler to measure your thread. So concerning your thread, I would recommend, if it's in centimeters, cutting at least 70 centimeters of your thread. You can go up to 80 centimeters, which is about 32 inches. Just to not come at the end, especially if you're using big beads. The bigger your beads are, the more thread you are going to use. So keep that in mind. If it's very tiny beads, you might use less, like maybe 60. I would not go under 60. 70 centimeters would be fine. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is first put here a jump ring, and if you have a double jump ring, I would really consider using it, because when the thread is so small, you really have to make sure that your jump ring is pretty well closed, otherwise you might lose it. So once you have your jump ring here, and it's the middle of my thread, okay, make sure it's really in the middle. I'm going to take my two ends here to make sure it is. Okay, that's fine. So here is my jump ring. Now we're going to take a crimp bead and pass it through our two threads here. Okay, let's see if I got it right. Yes. So now I am having my crimp bead here, because it's going to secure somehow all your other beads. So now that you're at it, and of course I forgot to tell you about the crimp tool here. This is one of my best. It's a 4-in-1, and it's from Xuron, and I will try to put a link where I found this one, because that's the best tool, because it can take from the smallest to the biggest crimp beads. So I'm going to put it here when I have my big teeth. You know, I'm sure you already know what crimp beads are. And I'm not going to go straight to my jump ring here. I want to leave a little space. Leaving a little space, that's almost the secret of making sure your beads are not going to, or your bracelet is not going to break. Because when things are sometimes too tight, your beads can't really move along, and that's when it breaks. So I really think I need to do a little close-up here. Okay, sorry about that. So now, as you can see, I've got my crimp bead, but it's not really nice. So I have to go into my other hole here and press it down. I'm going to try to do that, stay in focus, and try to really make it nice. And now everything is tucked there. I've got my crimp bead in, and now I can start my bracelet. So here you're going to take your two ends of thread, and you want to pass it through the middle, what I would call the middle bead. Okay, in this example it's a gold bead. And I'm going to push it here almost against my crimp bead. If you have a crimp bead cover, you don't have to use a small one. I don't right now. I do, but I don't have one in gold, so I can't use it. Once you've passed that one through, you're going to use one of your thread here, and you're going to start taking one of your big beads or bigger beads and put one through here and put another one on the other side. Okay, pull them back up, and this is what you have right now. So at this stage we're going to take another gold bead or middle bead on either side of your thread. It's not important, just on one side. And for those who know already that, we're going to cross. So in order to cross, we're going to take our other thread and pass it through. And this is what you will end up with having. Okay, so you keep on pulling till the end, and this is what you're going to have. Okay, so we're just going to keep on doing this. I'm going to use another color here, so I'm going to use some red, and I'm doing this by pairs of two. If you want to use just one color, well, just do as you wish. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing right now. So now I've passed my two reds, and I'm going to go for a gold. And again, once I've got my gold on one side, I'm going to cross with my other thread. And there you have it. Okay, And as you can see now, your bracelet is starting to come along. Make sure to pull, not too tight, but pull enough. Okay, arrange them there if they're getting a weird position. It happens often in the beginning, but then you'll be able to arrange it certainly at the third row. So now that you understood what I was doing here, I'm going to keep on making my bracelet, and I will come back when I'm almost at the end. Okay, before I show you how to close it, I want to show you something, give you my way to see how I make sure my bracelet is at the right size. So what I like to do is take my bracelet like this, put it right around my wrist, and come back here if it wants to stay where I want my bracelet to be normally, and bring everything back up. And as you can see here, probably my bracelet is touching my my jump ring here. Okay, so I think it's a bit too long already, because I still need to put on the other side here that I'm pulling, I still need to put a jump ring and also a clasp, and I'm going to use a big clasp. So because here I'm already touching the other side, I'm a little bit afraid that it's going to be too big and then it's going to slide too much here on my hand. So to make sure, what I'm already going to do here on this side is I'm going to put my big clasp on, so I'll be able to see this better. So what you need to do is just use your two flat nose pliers here. Oops. I really try to stay in the camera and also not putting my head everywhere. So you just need to open them. Think always open it on the side and never open them this way, because that's how you're going to probably break it sooner or later, and you close it back up. Okay, that's good. So now I'm probably gonna see better if it's really too big or not. Let me put it the right way here. And it is going to be too big because I still have to put my other jump ring on, and I can see here I have too much wiggle room, and I don't want my bracelet to end up being here in the middle of my hand. So when you really to think about that before you tied everything up, you cut everything. So I'm going to take just these three away, and what I'm going to do right now is to put my two threads into a crimp bead. Okay, I've got my two threads into my jump ring. Now if you want to, you don't have to do it right now, but you could put your two threads into the jump ring, or you can do it later because we're gonna leave a little loop anyway. Sometimes it can be in your way, so you don't have to put your jump ring right now, but we're gonna pass these two threads again in our crimp bead. Yes or no? Do I have the both? Yes, I do have both of them. That's good. Woo! Hooray! Okay, so I'm really pulling here, and I'm going to bring my jump ring, my crimp bead here next to my other bead. So now I'm at this point. I like it this way. I want my crimp bead to be kind of in the middle here. And now I'm going to use my Crimp Tool. There you go. Got it now. So now I can trim my two threads here. Really close. Come on. There you go. And then I can, because I have my jump ring, I can verify, but I'm sure that it's going to be fine, so I'm just going to put it on my wrist right now. And there you have it. That's the way I like to wear it. I'm going to go back. So this is really the way. It's not, it's maybe it's a tiny bit tight, but I could always add a second jump ring and it would be perfect. If I had put another row of beads, it would have been really too long, and then I don't like when my bracelets go up to here. It's too long. So there you have it. Don't worry about this. It's when you're going to put it on that you make it flat, and it's really gonna look nice. I love the look of it. I really think it's cute. So yeah, I hope you will like this bracelet. Please tell me what you think. They're really fun and easy to do, so give it a try. And if you do things that I'm showing you in my tutorials, don't hesitate and put your pictures onto the related video in my Facebook page. You have the links in the description box below. So yes, please give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and see you soon for other videos. Bye bye.